One of the techniques being practical for dealing with a malware or potential malware is suspending a process instead of killing it. I have created a special executable file being process after I run it. It is called suspend me if you can, and this particular process has two threads inside, and one thread is displaying ones and a second thread is displaying twos. So you can see 1 and 2 being displayed in the same time, I could say. If I want to suspend this particular process instead of killing it, I can use, for example, a Process Explorer. So I will run Process Explorer. I will find my process using this tool, and here you can see suspend me if you can process running. I can right click it and click, I will make it visible in the background, right click, suspend. After I suspend this process, you can see once stopped appearing. At the same time, two is still appearing once a second, which means one thread within this particular process is still running. If we go deeper, going to properties by double click, you can see there are indeed two threads. One of those has number of suspend equal to 1, and another one is still perfectly well running. So what does it mean in practice? Suspending a process does not necessarily suspend all the threads being present within the process. To make it more interesting, if I click on this particular thread, if I click on the suspend button, you can easily see suspend count increased to 1 and everything stopped being displayed. Both threads are not displaying anything. If I resume them, I have the previous situation. I have also another tool from sysinternals, PS Suspend, where I have to specify the process ID, which is nicely displayed by my tool, and it is 16176. And again, the PS Suspend tool tells me process is suspended, and at the same time, once stopped appearing, but twos are still appearing on the display, on the output. I can do the same -R and resume the process, and the normal state appears. To dig really deep inside to what happens here, I will use another tool from sysinternals, which is LiveKD. LiveKD, it doesn't find by default WinDBG, but if I display the help, you can see you can specify the debugger path after the K parameters. So the syntax basically is LiveKD -K and the full path to the WinDBG, which is in my case program files x86 Windows kits, and then 10 debuggers x64 windbg.exe. And right now I have my WinDBG up and running. It is working on the snapshot of the memory, but I can do this without rebooting computer, doing anything like this. Of course, admin permission, is a requirement. In the command, you can see it is the session from the LiveKD. To dig inside the thread properties, I can display the properties or the structure of the K thread structure. The syntax would be dt for displaying the structure, and then from ntdll underscore thread K thread for the kernel structure. The structure is pretty complex, but here within this structure, there is one interesting thing under offset 7.4. You can see a bunch of bits on the offset 174 called Misc Flags, and one of those is bypass process freeze. If I want to see my process here within the WinDBG, I have to go for this particular process ID. To have it working, the syntax would be bank process and then 3F30, and right now my process is found, and right here you can see two threads being present within my process. Obviously one of those threads is displaying once and the second thread is displaying tools. Here I have the information where the thread stays within the memory. So I can, for the first thread, display the structure of the K thread. I just demonstrated it to you. So for the first thread, it will be the same syntax DTNT K thread, then the address of the thread, and I will display only the structure, which is interesting, which is bypass process freeze, and you can see it is 0 for the thread number 1. If I copy the address of the second thread, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, maybe not like this, maybe I will paste it here to the command. Okay, and here you can see 1, and it is exactly the reason. If I call the function or application or whatever for suspending a process, threads marked with this particular bit will not be suspended. I can suspend them easily when I explicitly indicate at them telling please suspend me this process. So still, I believe suspending a process is a great technique instead of killing it due to multiple reasons. And please do remember that after you suspend the process, it is a smart idea to verify if all its threads are really suspended. Otherwise, the suspend functionality will not work as you expect. Of course, I'm providing a C source code. Here, it is relatively simple code for the executable file I have launched. Of course, I'm sharing the code and the compiled exe on my GitHub. There is one undocumented but exported by NTDLL function ntcreate thread X using one undocumented parameter, thread create flags bypass proc freeze. If you call the thread with this parameter, the thread will not be included when all threads of the process are suspended. So please be aware of this and use it in a smart way.